Good morning, Bell. Well, two things. He'll try to gain support for his ambitious plan for Europe, and he'll also try to present himself as the new leader of Europe. This is somebody who believes that Europe is now divided between two camps. On the one hand, the more nationalist camp that wants more power back to the member states, and on the other hand, the camp of Macron that wants more power for Europe, more integration of Europe, and that was the essence of his speech yesterday. Now, in Denmark, he'll be meeting with the country's highest authorities, the Queen, the Prime Minister. These kind of state visits are always an opportunity for businesses, and this time is no different. So he'll bring along some French business leaders who will meet with Danish business leaders in order to create some economic opportunities. It's also important to mention that Mr. Macron is an admirer of the Danish labor market model, and he wants to import some of the key aspects of this model to France in order to fight against unemployment. But it's really unclear at this stage how his message will be received in Denmark. This is a country that also has nationalism and Euroscepticism. Actually, the country's second biggest party is the far-right Danish People's Party. In an op-ed recently, an influential Danish newspaper said that the image of Mr. Macron abroad and in Denmark has somehow tarnished since he was elected president, and that the Danish people will need more than slogans in order to be convinced. And finally, in an interview with the French daily Le Monde, the Danish Prime Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen said that it was too early at this stage for a big reform of the EU. Belle?
And Brian, are we likely to see more of these sorts of visits from Macron as he tries to build and firm up relations with other EU member states?
Yes, absolutely. This is somebody who's been already very active internationally. He's already visited half of EU countries since he was elected president. And you have to remember that in 9 months, we'll have the EU elections. So you can expect more visits in different countries. Mr. Macron is hoping to have the European Parliament with a clear majority of pro-EU parties that will be able to share his vision for Europe and be able to carry out the big reforms that he wants, whether it's on the Eurozone budget, whether it's on the common defense policy or a common migration policy. But before doing that, Mr. Macron will also have to wage his own battle here at home. In France, it already feels almost like a pre-election campaign. The opposition, whether it's the right or the left, are coming down hard on Mr. Macron. The public opinion in France is also unhappy with many of the reforms of Mr. Macron, and this feeling is likely to be felt in 9 months when we'll have the European elections. Belle?